Good to be back, George. How you doing? What up, Iwooks? How are you, my man? What's up, Hasib? How are you, my man? What up, everyone? I know it's been a while. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching this later, whatever you decide to do. I usually tend to get about around, estimates are around like 200 people that watch a video of live. So I know there's a good couple hundred people out there that use this information on a daily basis and they depend on it, and I can't thank you enough for that, like for your support. And it's hard to feel kind of that feel being dependent on, because I do feel like I have an impact in people's lives, and whether it's saving them from this 30% pullback we've seen in the legacy markets, their 401ks, or it help them in like, just, okay, look, should I be messing around with the market right now? No, Savage just said to come back in a few months. I mean, there's literally some people that have, some of my friends have literally disappeared and stopped paying attention to the market they're not even going to pay attention to the market till like end of this year, Q1 next year. So there's a lot of ways I know I can help you, and I hope I do help you. I needed to take a little break, personal life. I'm gonna get back on this though. I will be live tonight. I meant to be live last night. It's just been very rough on my family, on on my wife. So I'm family first, and then my second family, which is you guys, second. So, like I said, appreciate that patience. I do hope we see a solid move we can jump on here. I'm looking at the 2-day fam. The 2-day closes today. We're going to talk about the 3-day. The 3-day closed yesterday. We're going to talk about how even though the 3-day, let's start with the 3-day, okay? Even though the 3-day, right, was like at the beginning, like when I woke up, it was 19,600 or so. Even though it was all the way up here and it came all the way down, we actually never even tested the 3-day open. So when this 3-day opened, we went up and then sellers came in. I'm going to talk to you why this is important. Okay. This is an inverted hammer, probably one of the best type of inverted hammers you could see, in my opinion. It's secret though. It's like they're being sneaky about it. This pullback. Now look at this. This was yesterday's close, fam. Kill the music here for a second. This was yesterday's close, right? Since yesterday's close, this is the 3-day. So we got 2 days left, right? Like 2 days, 7 hours left in this 3-day candle. You know, they can range it, but look at where they tagged, right? They basically came down here, tagged the previous 3-day open, right? They tagged this area. Look at that tag. And now we're just kind of hovering, right? They got bids here, fam. They got bids here. They're holding it here. And I think in the next 2 days, because I do think this is a little bit of a bear trap, I think in the next 2 days, we're going to see this 2-day, which again isn't engulfing. We have 6 hours left. I bet it's going to close a little bit better than this. We're already crawling up here. I think a long's a play. I really do think the long's a play. If you go over here to the 2-day, 2-day has actually, we're going to get to RSI in a second, it actually has kind of a cup and handle. Now it's not clean. I get it, fam. We haven't even tested the top of the cup. But if we could just crawl back up here, it's not going to happen today, tomorrow. But if we continue, I think we're continuing to see lows. Here's the lows tagged, right? Tag the lows, right? Now we're climbing, right? So if you go over here, the 2-day RSI, what supports this move coming is this compression. When have we seen this compression before? We saw a compression very similar like that back in March, believe it or not. This was 40K before we broke up. So we broke up to 47K there, March 28th, and then we just all the way broke down to May. Luna crashed 30K, climbed a little bit, and then this was obviously 17K. Double bottom low on the 2-day. Now look, fam, look at this. We get these compressions, believe it or not, all the time on our side. Now it doesn't have to be the 2-day. I'm just using the 2 days example. You could look at the daily. It has very similar kind of pattern, right? Because like the daily, there's 2 of the dailies in the 2-day. So look, and it looks bearish. I'm not gonna lie, it looks bearish. But I thought it looked bearish here too. Pretty sure I shorted that. I thought it was bearish here. And then, you know, they're just climbing the ladder, fam. They're climbing the ladder. I've seen this before. Minimum we'll probably see a break up, then down. That's my guess. Just because we've been holding these lows for so long here, fam. Right? Not only compressing, but we've been holding these lows for so long that there really is not, there's not crazy selling pressure now. There just isn't. One thing that supports the selling pressure is the hash ribbons. I'll talk about the hash ribbons all day because it's clear to me that the hash ribbons say a lot. Okay. So here, look at this. Look at this right here. When did we have capitulation? All this was capitulation. Buy zone, we've only been dipping, and now we're basically holding a major support. All right. A major weekly support. That 17K is a huge level, fam. We're holding this major weekly level, and we're not seeing capitulation on the hash ribbons. That is bullish. We have a buy signal that came. These buy signals are always delayed. It takes weeks, months, sometimes, you know, I'm not gonna say a year, but sometimes it takes, you know, a month or two before they pop. It's been a long time already. I just wouldn't fade that yet. Okay, we're not fading these lows. until the lows are broken. This isn't like 40K. In fact, this is half that, 20K. Now, look, pay attention, fam, right? We go over here, the S&P. S&P is kind of in an interesting spot. Right, so we go over here to the S&P. We see, well, what do we see? See a very similar thing going on here, right? Now, I'm not saying this is exact, but could easily see something like that. So we could get this pullback to here. You could call it an inverted head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it. But either way, we retested these lows twice, right? Could easily retest it. We could pop back up here and retest this again. This level that we're at right now, we're kind of holding that 3680 level, but we could easily go down to 3619, pop up. This entire move, now consider this, right? We've made new lows here on the S&P, right? This entire move where we saw basically this was 25K Bitcoin, it came down. This entire move, fam, we didn't make new low on Bitcoin. I mean, that's kind of bullish to me. I mean, we can't. I mean, that's kind of interesting. But, right? That's kind of bullish to me. But now listen to this. This is the problem. Can Bitcoin, not the problem. This is the question, excuse me. Can Bitcoin continue, right, to hold sideways while the S&P, what if we just kept going down, right, and make new lows? Can Bitcoin hold sideways? No. No doubt. So this is an important level here, fam. I think this is an important level. If we see these lows wiped out here on the S&P, I'm not going to be thinking that we're going to bounce first. Like a bounce as in like maybe get a swing up to 23K, 24K, something like that, 25K. I'd love for a bounce, right? Like that's, I mean, it's a little emotional, it's a little biased, but I'd love for a bounce to go into a short. But this is what I think is going to happen. Like I said, as long as these lows aren't swept, Bitcoin holds this range here, right? We hold this range. Sorry, the support, right? And again, until the SPX bounces, something like this, we see this leg up, this kind of impulsive move up, whatever you want to call it, manipulated move up. Until we see a bounce like this, Bitcoin's going to continue to range down here. Now, if you zoom out and you look at the 5-day, fam, which closed a few days ago, 2 days ago, in fact, look at the 5-day. 5-day actually had a interesting structure. Now, I'm not as clear-headed as anyone as traders should be. So I completely missed this. But when the 5-day closed, right, we were looking bullish. We came up here, right, looking bullish, 19.9 at some point, came back down. When the 5-day closed, we never closed over resistance. We've been in this range. Look at this tight range here. Really, for the 5-day, you could even put the line here, right? These are 5-day candles, right? Now watch this. Open, close. Open, close, open, close. Like, I mean, not close yet. We're 3 days, 7 hours to hold this level, but it's 15 days we've been in this range from 19.2 to 19.6. Not talking about the wicks. It's crazy. Not talking about the wicks, fam. I'm not talking about the 18 to the 19.9 wick up and the 18.1 down. But as long as the S&P holds those lows, Bitcoin's not going to make a new low. Now, it's interesting to me too how almost like Bitcoin knew the S&P wasn't going to go too low, right? Like we didn't even get close at testing this. You know, we didn't even get close at testing that. I feel like we tagged it. Bybit, they tagged 18K. Bing, they tagged really close to 18K too. BINGX. I mean, like it's crazy. They're not feeling spot though at 18K. I didn't see any spot exchanges. Oh, the big ones like Coinbase or Bitstamp or Yeah, Ruthless. What's up? How you doing? It does look so that it clearly getting hold in place. Yeah, it is Ruthless. Exactly. It's clearly getting hold in place. It's so manipulated. And what's interesting is if you go down here to like the daily and you just look at the volatility. Let's get rid of the 5 day lines. I don't really need those anymore. Look at the volatility on the daily. Delete it. Hang on. Must have deleted my indicators. Yeah. Wait. No, I did not want to save that. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. Let's go to the daily real quick. And you look at the volatility, right? Like on today, for example. Today is a perfect example of the volatility. Um, just the volatility alone right here. And I usually don't have the SMA up here, but that's actually an interesting look because the SMA is compressing. You see this compression. Compressing down on a red candle like this, that's actually bullish. So right, what it says right here is that all they did was pull bids these last 2 days. That wasn't even high volatility. It wasn't even like selling pressure. They just pulled, they spoofed it. They spoofed, held it up there, pulled the bids, pulled back, built some spot orders probably, and then they pump it. It's literally Ziloff. What's up? Um, but yeah, look, it's just being completely spoofed. Look at all these low volatility. These are usually pivots. It's like there's no selling pressure. It's just couldn't be spoofed. Hope Tesla earnings come in hot. Dude, all right. So it's interesting about Tesla. Uh let's go back to this one. Tesla. Tesla. This is what I saw, and I showed this the frag. I don't think he had signed up yet, the trade options yet, but I showed this the frag right out here, and it's like this giant head and shoulders. Oh my god, it doesn't look good. We're gonna go. I mean, think about this. Like, there's so many competitors now with Tesla. You're gonna and they can't even fill supply. Although I think we're gonna see a bounce here. I think we'll see something. Um, hate to remove the history there, but I do think we'll see something like then down. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, Nasdaq looks so much better than the S&P. Nasdaq, I kind of. That's the monthly. Kind of looks better. I mean, we got like the versus here. 10, like monthly S&P. I mean, just where it is. Bottom to top, 27%. What kind of mess up? Not what I meant. 22%. 23%. They're about the same. Structures look different though. This is what it is this is like Nasdaq is like a shit coin. Like Nasdaq is like Matic. It looks actually a lot like Matic, right? A Nasdaq monthly is like Matic. Like here's Bitcoin. Here's Bitcoin daily. Let's look at Matic real quick. And then here's Matic. Wow, this is a complicated chart here. Right? Don't these look? Here's the Nasdaq of crypto right now. The Nasdaq of crypto. Like Matic, Nasdaq monthly. Matic. Oh, you gotta love it, dude. And then here's Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin's like the S&P. It's like straight down, completely like the S&P. We'll make a lower low based on macro econ. Yeah, we'll make. I do think that this is not the lows. This is not the macro lows at all. I'm just trying to. Most of what I've been talking about today is kind of like on a day to day, week to week. I don't think uh, I'm interested to see if we do make lows around early November. Now, the reason I say that is you go over here to my cycle chart, we usually don't bottom less than 1 year. So it takes a year, right? At least, like minimum. You look at this, right? And we just measure time, right? So this was 400 days, 390 days or so from top to bottom in 2013, right? To hit the lows, right? It took us about 400 days. 20K, 3K, it took us a year, 364 days. A year hasn't even happened right now. So do I think new lows are possible? Yes. Speaking of looking at this chart, which is a weekly chart, let's look at the weekly Bitcoin. Kind of an interesting interesting on my system because man, it could go either way. What I'm seeing is complete absorption, no volatility on this candle. But the problem is these bottom candles like this, these low candles, there's just so much potential for a big move to come, and like this could suddenly be like a yellow candle, like, and just come up and like either bulls come in hard or the selling pressure comes in hard. You have to watch these very low volatility weeklies, and it also could be just completely absorbed. This weekly could close just like this, a little bit red, everyone's bearish, and then we could pop up a little bit more bear trap, or it could just close completely flat. One thing I saw just a few days ago when it closed was the 2 days ago. It was two days ago, excuse me, was the 10-day. Check this out. This is how the 10-day closed. Bam. Look at that. Really interesting. Good wick, right? It's green. I mean, or blue in my shit. But also look at the volatility here. This compression down on volatility, and this 10-day, another scary kind of very, very low volatility. If they want to move it, look at this. You could have low volatility on this one, and then by the end of the 10-day candle, you have the buyers or the sellers come in, whatever happens. So you have to kind of break these time frames down. So I look at a 10-day and I'm like, okay, there's compression right now on the 10-day, compression down on price. That's usually bullish, not necessarily. The best part is right now the 10-day is red and we have no volatility. So that's actually bullish. I know that sounds kind of weird. And then we break it down. Like, we're look at the 3-day that closed yesterday. All right, the 3-day, look at all this low volatility, historical volatility. This is a historically low volatility right now. That's what I should be saying, because that's what this is, a historical volatility indicator. This is historically low volatility right now on every time frame. 3-day, there's a move coming. You're basically flipping a coin if you don't, know what you're doing or talking about. The 2-day has a little bit of expansion. Look at that. Like, they're creeping up on it. It's completely manipulated and controlled. I think literally they're just pulling bids, filling bids, spot orders, and then they're just going to send it. Like, and I don't know how far they'll send it. Maybe the send is the 22K. Maybe it's the send is the 23K. Maybe the send is the 25K. But wherever we go, it'll be a great shorting opportunity down into the macro lows. That's what I honestly believe. FOMC in November. Yeah. I mean, well, like I said, we have not bottomed in less than a year. So it takes at least a year for us to get to the bottom. I cannot consider it like a bottom until that year time frame comes. So like, if we're still hovering at like 19K or we're higher, let's say like we pump at 28K, let's just say we pump to 28K by like November 6th, which would be exactly a year from the top. I might consider 17K being the low, but I don't think the macro lows are in. I mean, anyone who thinks that when the S&P looks like this, I mean, they have no clue what they're talking about. Like, this is no joke. Now look at this. Here's the quarterly that closed. Talked about this a little bit. Quarterly looks like crap, right? Like the quarterly. I mean, this current trend, right? We had 3 quarters down. I do think they're going to save this, and then we might see something like, now if you go back in history and see how we play these out, we could have something like this. This is where I think we are, right? And then we have this come in. So we have this Last quarter. This is the quarterly. This is where we are, fam. Do it. Boom. Arrows. All right, this is where we are at. This is the next year. On this is the we're talking about. This is the S&P, fam. We're not talking about Bitcoin. Like, if this happens to S&P, Bitcoin's not going to hold 19K. It's hooked up to some like rotten algorithm. They're hooked up to the S&P bots, fam. It's like, it disgusts me. Bitcoin is not the same as I used to trade in like 2018 or 2019, excuse me. But this is probably what will happen, I think. Bad. I love bars. Yeah, and dude, it was so much easier. Honestly, it's gone from like BitMEX to like Bitfinex. If you're not talking about options, like options, I think Darebit's still number one, but it's gone like BitMEX, the Bitfinex, and Bitfinex or whatever they call it. And it's kind of like Binance now, FTX. Those are kind of the major, yeah, Bitfinex, Bitfinex. They used to be big players. I remember everyone talking a year ago, summer 2021, a year ago at 30K, like, oh, they're all short, we're going to 24K, and I said I didn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what they are doing. I said I'm bullish. This is where I think we're at, and unfortunately we're going to continue to go down, which will bring us to our lows, wherever that is, 10K, 7K, 6K, whatever it could be. I mean, you need to be open to all options, fam, because you don't want to be trying to catch knives if you're trading or whatever. Maybe at 14K when we could go a lot lower than 14K. There's a lot of possibility. I think we could go as low as like 4K. We could go that low. I'm not saying we are going to go that low. I'm more of like a day-to-day, week-to-week, analyze it, seeing the same exact thing happen though on the Bitcoin cycle here. Very clean. Haven't even gotten to that 1 year point, like I said. So we get there November 7th, see where we're at in price, but we could easily see something where we go up here, test that yearly level. That's what that 29K is there for, and then we come back down 10K, 10.3. But yeah, I mean, right now I just think they're playing hooky, fam. Like I said, 2-day closes today. Let's look at the 2-day. Daily looks like crap. We know that. Daily does not look good. No volatility. It could slip at the end. Like, what I mean is slip is like they just pull these bids right here. See this daily support we're holding right here? They could slip that volatility easily. Just pull their bids right here and let that volatility come in hot. If there's a bunch of like selling pressure, and then fill another wick lower, they could easily do that. I don't think they're going to do it. I honestly think the current structure suggests that this level needs to hold for the bulls. Of course, we could go down here to lows again. Anything could happen, but I would like this structure to kind of hold. Main range here is pretty clear. One line, right? 20.3, 20.4 area. Until we close the daily over that, we're just range in here. It's crazy, man. It's like the most boring, worst price action. Do you have any long-term plays other than the Bitcoin, or do you trade on time frames? Kill dog. I mean, I'm working on researching like new projects. Like, actually, I was looking at Aptos because that became. It's funny. I was looking at Aptos before it blew up on Twitter, like talking about it a few days ago. I like looked at it like a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. They don't have a coin. I don't know why people are even talking about it on Twitter. Like, it's a project. It's like a layer one project that's supposed to be better than Ethereum, better than Solana. I think that's the way to go, is like try to find like some new projects. Like when Aptos does drop a coin, maybe I'll invest in Aptos because I've read a lot about it and got some. I mean, they've been working for like 5 years on that. I mean, can you imagine working on like a project and you didn't hear about it till like 4 days ago. Like most people didn't hear about Aptos till 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days ago, and then they've been doing it for four plus years. ICP, yeah, next solar, ICP, yeah, and so researching, I think projects right now is a good opportunity to do that because look at it's a crab market right now, right? It's maybe for me as a trader, it's not that bad, but for you, like as a long-term investor, most of you, I just be careful trading this. But I will say I am trying to invest a lot of money in Solana. I think Algo, Near, there's some projects out right now that have shown some potential, and I think there's I think there's no reason to accumulate some of those. I think Algo, to be honest, and Solana are going to be winners in a couple years. Now they could also be complete losers. You gamble in crypto a lot. It's like saying like, oh, they're going to be the next Ethereum, but we don't really need another Ethereum. We could maybe use another something else that's like different. And I think it's important to realize that crypto is going to hopefully different projects will coincide with each other instead of compete against each other, because that's how the blockchain is meant to work. They're meant to be compatible with each other and send one to another, convert one to another. And Atom, exactly, Atom, yeah, in it for the tech. I mean, I buy low, sell high. So if a tech on one is better than the other, I'm definitely going to be buying low and selling high on the tech that's better. It's just facts, because one has, one could 10x, one could 15x, one could 5x, the difference, or 2x or 3x. Also, how new a token is. With Solana went from literally $1.50 or something, December 2020. We're talking less than 2 years ago, it was like $1 Solana. So if Algo goes from 30 cents to $7, but you also got to look at market cap. There's a lot of things you can look at. Analytic. There's got to study the analytics. I think that's important too. So, but I hope you guys learned something today from this. I'm cap this update right now. I'm gonna be on live tonight. First nightly close in a while. Excuse me. And we'll get after it. And let's do this. This stream was sponsored by BINGX fam, and you guys, of course, thank you for coming by. Hit the exclamation BINGX. You sign up, you get $100 right now. They got DXY perps, so you can go short the dollar. We didn't talk about the dollar today, but all right. You heard my talk on Bitcoin.